1, prepare.
We're not prepared.
Check that off the list. 2, stay sober.
Not happening.
Welcome to the best kind of worst.
No one fucking cares.
Everyone cares.
Who?
I care.
Dick suck.
So there I am in the parking lot. Underwear and a guinea.
Hang out in the back seat of a 7-Eleven.
It's an Emma!
We might die.
So you want to talk about those lesbians?
We need a Bay update.
I slept on the fucking tile!
So take the photographs and still frames in your mind. Hanging on a shelf in good health and good time. Tattoos and memories and things get on trial. For what it's worth, it was worth it. It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. God.
It's the end of an era.
You know what? It's the end of an era, but it's also the beginning of a new era. We're 40.
Oh my God.
We're 40, babe.
I'm going to do it for Gronk. Hold on.
We're 40. Oh, God, what is that? God, that just got me all hot.
Well, I can't tell you what it is because you'll just get mad.
Oh, is it? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Are you drinking that punch shit again?
Yeah.
God.
You need to try it. It's delicious.
No, I can't. Part of the family, babe. Part of the family. Can't do it.
Oh, it's the end of an era.
Anyway, yeah, so good riddance, huh?
Yeah, well, I mean, not good riddance. It's a terrible name
It's
for
not the
such a
greatest
depressing
name.
song, right?
Well, I mean, for a depressing song, it is a good name, I suppose.
Yeah, but not in the context of what it's trying. It's like moving on, you know?
Yeah.
People use it for like their graduations because
exactly.
You're like transitioning, you know, not into like transgender, but you're transitioning into adulthood.
You're transitioning into a new era, a new time. I guess. I mean, you kind of hinted at it. Thanks for just coughing all over the place.
I turned my head. It was being a jerk and slurping into the microphone. I choked on the carbonation.
Asshole. But you kind of hinted at it. But obviously, we played the song because Gronkowski has officially announced his retirement, eh?
Effective today, yes, he did. Robert James Gronkowski. Robert James Gronkowski officially retires from the NFL. He's going to turn 30 here in a few months. He retires at 29.
God, he's not even 30. Crazy, but you know what? It's best for him, honestly. The only thing in his future was injury. You know what I mean? Like, he's been clean not even clean a couple of years. He's had some minor setbacks, nothing like when he first kind of came onto the scene where he was getting hurt all the time and out for a whole season. But he's been fairly clean.
I mean, what I'll say about it is, obviously, it's sad to see him go.
Of course.
His contribution to the NFL is probably one of the largest in history. And I'm just glad I got to see it. We got to see it. I'm glad it happened, you know, during our era, you know, because,
and during such a good era.
There's been the boom for running backs. There's been the boom for quarterbacks.
Yeah.
There was never really a big boom for tight ends. And our age group, you and I, we got to see Shannon Sharp, Dallas Clark, Tony Gonzalez.
A lot of great tight ends.
Jesus. The list goes on. I could sit here and name 10 people that changed the position for the better, but no one had an impact like Gronkowski. He literally changed it forever. I mean, he plays our one receiver spot.
Yeah.
As a 6'7", 285-pound linebacker tight end.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, there's no Jimmy Graham without Rob Gronkowski. There's no Tyler Eifert. There's no Zach Rudolph.
Yeah. It really shows what you can do with the position, right?
And this is what I'll say. At retiring at 29, although it's early and would be in his prime for other positions, you see this with players that play at an elite level. It's unsustainable. Look at what happened with J.J. Watt. J.J. Watt was the best player on the field, either side of the ball, for 2.5 straight seasons.
Yeah.
And then what has happened? It's been one injury after the next, because it's not, the NFL is not sustainable for playing at an elite level, with the exception of the quarterback position.
Well, it's such a protected position, right?
But I think you see with Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, and the greats, the Fran Tarkentons, the Terry Bradshaws, you don't have to be ultra athletic.
No.
That's a more of a cerebral position, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Every other position on the field, you're either an athlete or you're not.
Yeah. No, outside of that, you have to be an athlete.
Yeah. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's a legend. He's got to be in the conversation for greatest of all time, regardless of position. Because you'd be hard pressed to find a player that changed the position. Like Tom Brady didn't bring anything new to the quarterback position, and Tom Brady for me is the greatest player.
I wouldn't say he hasn't brought anything new to the quarterback position, but he's not changing the quarterback position.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, he's brought longevity. He's brought real smarts. He's brought the advent of using your slot receiver. Like, he's brought stuff. He's changed the position.
He's brought a lot of things, but he hasn't completely redeveloped the position.
Yeah. It's not like Fran Tarkenton where
he just made it a lot better.
He ran the ball. Like, what just happened? I didn't think quarterbacks could run.
Yeah.
And then you had the Doug Flutys and the Warren Moons.
Right.
Michael Vick. I mean, for better or worse, changed the game at the quarterback position. Right.
Yeah.
Gronkowski's contributions to the tight end position will transcend for years. For years.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, he's got to be in the conversation for greatest of all time.
Yeah, it's got to be. Got to be. I knew he was on his way. I think a lot of people did.
He was on borrowed time this year. You could tell the first eight games this season he was still hurting.
Yeah. He was taking it very easy. They didn't play him a lot. It was just, and a lot of, it's funny because I go back home and a lot of fans are like, oh, he needs to fucking do something or they're going to trade him. I'm like, he's done. He's retiring. He's out.
He's hurting.
He's done. They're letting him play different positions. They're letting him sit out. Like, he's done.
Them trading, all the talks about trading him over the offseason, I think that was just predicated on giving him a chance to have a different a scenery, because that reinvigorates players at certain times.
It does, but he didn't want it.
And he was very honest when the reports came out about the possible trade. He straight up said it. He goes, "If they trade me, I'll retire."
Yeah.
He goes, "Nothing invigorates me more than getting to play with Tom Brady," and I think that was enough for the organization to go, "Oh, we don't need to trade you." Yeah,
we don't need to get rid of you.
We didn't.
We'll keep you.
I don't think. If you ask the people in charge, Belichick and Kraft, it'd be idiotic to trade them. But there's a certain time where you have to trade integral pieces because it becomes stale. And I think he was stale because of injury, not because of his lack of wanting to be a Patriot.
Yeah.
And I think the media wants to make it a little different than what it is, and just to be more polarizing. But I think it was a lot more simpler than that.
Yeah, absolutely. Just so many big plays, He wasn't always there, but he was there when you needed him to be.
The catch in the fourth quarter with 2 minutes to go.
Yeah.
Do you remember when he blocked? I think it was Malcolm Brown or Mario Brown. I think it was Malcolm Brown, the Colts defensive back, when he literally blocked him in the locker room. One of the most classic plays of all time.
Yeah.
He drove him because Like when you play football, your whole goal is to drive someone off the ball. So that's usually a couple of feet off the line of scrimmage. If you get a full yard, you get a couple of yards. That's just equity. He drove that man north of 25 yards. You know, as an offensive lineman or a defensive lineman, you get a couple of yards. That's a you go take a breather. They'll switch you out. You get a break. Mm-hmm. He drove him 25.
You got to just sit down here for a minute.
I mean, the moment he started wearing that bionic arm brace, you just knew at any moment he's going to snap his arm.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I mean, look at. I mean, it's a different sport, but look at Paige Van Zandt. She broke her arm a couple fights ago, and she won her most recent fight. But it looks like she re-broke it. It's just you know she's got a titanium plate the size of a ruler in there. It just doesn't hold up. So
yeah, no, it's just not the same. It's not the same.
He's got pins and needles all through. His back was his back was probably the biggest problem. Towards the end, this season, his back was what was causing him to sit some plays. And he's such a big guy, 6'8", carrying that weight.
Oh, that's it.
Around.
Carrying that kind of weight, throwing those hits like that, getting hit like he got hit. Fuck, he was double, triple teamed all the time.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because if they didn't, they couldn't stop him. So I mean, it's just a lot. It sucks to see him go, but it's the best for him because chances are now he can live a somewhat normal life, you know, and 100%. Not be riddled with fucking pain for the rest of his life. That's it. I mean, how many more times does he need to get hit in the head, you know? He played for 9 years, 10 years?
9 seasons. Yeah, the good thing about the good thing about being so big is I'm really not worried about concussions or head hits for him because most players can't hit him that high.
Yeah,
it terrifies me when he runs down the field because every player just goes for his knee.
Yeah,
no, I mean, they go for his knee.
Yeah, but then when
I don't know how he hasn't blown.
I've seen that. Yeah,
I don't know how he hasn't blown a leg out.
Yeah,
I really don't.
But I've seen him take some headshots that I'm just
no.
Oh, God.
He definitely has. But if he took the headshots that Edelman takes, I think he would have retired 2 years ago. Because Edelman takes some hits to the head. And that's just the way he plays. He's constantly diving straight.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's my worry for Tom. I know Tom's hell bent on playing till 45, but I don't want him to go out like Joe Theismann where they break his ankle and he never returns from that. You know, Theismann kept wanting to play, and he got that hit on. Look up the hit on Joe Theismann, ladies and gentlemen, that knocked him out of this. That ended his career. It was gruesome. It was basically almost the same thing that Alex Smith had this year.
Really,
you know, it's sad to see Alex. I don't think Alex Smith returns. Yeah. It's unfortunate. So, yeah. Yo soy Fiesta.
Yo soy Fiesta. Yo soy Fiesta. Fucking Buonasera.
I don't know what that means.
It means good evening in Italian. I've been learning Italian for the last month.
Why?
Why not? Trying to be a better person.
So you're saying it's Italian time?
Huh? Italian.
You in the mood for some Italian?
Italian food?
Italian food?
Yeah, the only thing that actually we didn't record this, but you just played the It's Time. So we were talking about trying to get him to record something, right? So I don't know if you want to talk about it in here or not, but I just had a thought.
Well, that's fun.
We would probably have to disclose to him what we're doing with it because he chances are he will charge more for a commercial item rather than
absolutely.
a baby
absolutely.
announcement, right?
Yeah, no, I'd be completely transparent. Yeah, because
I'm just saying.
I'm assuming he's got those 2 words trademarked for him.
Well, that's it. That's what just made me think about it because you just played it, and I'm like, well, fuck, that could be something, you know.
Yeah,
we gotta.
He's definitely got a trademark.
Play
probably.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
He'd be stupid not to.
And I'm not even sure he'll say it's time.
Yeah, that's my next thought was, will he even say that for us?
I don't know.
He might not be able to.
Exactly.
Might be tied up, you know?
Yeah, because like he does have a disclaimer in there that he can't reference Octagon, UFC, and
anything to do with the UFC.
A couple of the other terms that they have an exclusive trademark on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt to just reach out and see what happens. It'd be cool as hell, though.
Yeah, absolutely. So what's good?
Nothing, man. Just studying. I got an exam tomorrow, so
another exam. This is one of the 3.
Yeah.
This is the second one of the 3 you got to take.
Second leg, yep.
And then you got one more, and then the big one.
Yep.
And now the three tests you have to take dictate whether or not you qualify to take the final exam. Is that the thing?
You got it.
You got it.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. There's not a whole lot I can say. It is what it is.
Well, yeah, obviously.
How's your week going?
But not bad.
Disrespectful.
Oh God. Let's see. When did we record? Friday, I believe, last week.
Friday.
Yeah. Saturday. Fuck did I do Saturday? Oh, I wasn't I wasn't feeling very good Saturday.
Huh.
I think I had a sinus infection recently. Or something of the sort, hacking up some nasty shit. It wasn't like I wasn't sick. I didn't have I guess I was sick technically. I didn't have a cold or something per se. But I just had a lot of pressure in my head on Saturday. And it kind of subsided. It was building up towards the end of the week where like my head was feeling a little off. And then Saturday was just pretty brutal. And then after that, it kind of went away. Sunday, a little part of the day, it was bothering me, but it's been fine all week. But I've still just been kind of getting over a lot of that fucking nasal drip, blowing out nastiness, you know, coughing shit up.
I'm glad you're here with us, and I'm glad you're 100%.
Yeah, we're here. Oh, I'm not 100%. Not yet, babe. Not yet. I'm getting there.
Or a little bit of something.
Yeah. But, so I just kind of chilled the fuck out on Saturday, lounged around, mostly just, I napped, and then the lady came over, and we went and got some ice cream, and since, you know, St. Patty's Day on Sunday, we were going to go out Saturday, and then we were just like, fuck it. I wasn't feeling well, and she was like, yeah, I don't really feel like doing anything anyway. So we went and got some ice cream, and I bought some Guinness, which...
Some Guinness?
Some Guinness, which my sponsor of the week, a little Guinness Giraffe Stout.
You know who likes that?
John.
My girl likes that.
Oh, yeah? That is so weird.
Yeah.
She likes like Budweiser.
Yeah, her taste in beer is like some of the most eclectic things ever. Because I know I ordered her an IPA somewhere, and she was like, it's kind of bitter, and I was like, I'll drink it. Don't worry about it. And she's like, yeah, can I get a Guinness? And I was like, they don't make no sense. Yeah,
well, because I remember when she was here. When we went down to the that food truck festival, and we went into that little that bar, brewery, whatever the pub it was.
Yeah, okay.
And we ordered some IPAs and she tried it and she was like, oh no, I don't want anything like that. Yeah. And you were like, well, she likes Budweiser, and I'm like, oh, we'll get the Cigar City Lager. It's their classic beer. It's basically a Budweiser.
Yeah,
and she was like, oh yeah, it tastes like Budweiser.
That white mackerel or whatever the hell they call it.
No, just their lager. It's just their
it doesn't
Cigar
have a fancy
City
name?
Lager. That one, I don't think so. No, I believe it's just the lager.
Yeah.
No, I don't think that one does.
It does taste just like Budweiser, though.
Yeah, it's a traditional, or is it a
lager?
Yeah, it's their lager. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of odd to me that she likes Guinness.
Yeah, I got nothing.
They're completely different. But yeah, so just hung out Saturday, and then Sunday went over to old Mikey Boy's house. Had a little I wouldn't say a little. We had some fucking charcuterie out the ass. And hung out there most of the day. Chilled out. Bunch of charcuterie. Crazy.
Where at?
At his house.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay.
We each bought a few select cheeses, few select meats. And
I wasn't following you there for a second.
Cut it up. And had a few, because it was actually St. Patrick's Day, so brought over a little sixer, some Killians, classic. And I got a fucking whiskey, huh? Some fuck. You fuck?
Some fucking whiskey.
I brought over a bottle of Proper, because old Mikey hadn't had it yet.
How do you like it?
He liked it. See, it's funny because more and more I just hear people talking so much shit about it.
Yeah,
saying, I heard it tastes like McGregor. Shit.
Yeah,
I heard it tastes like shit. Dude, Mike came over after we've had the first bottle. Mike came over and he saw the bottle and he's like, oh, how was it? He's like, I heard it sucks. And I'm like, dude, it was actually really good. We bought that bottle like 2 days ago.
If you like Irish whiskey and you're a Jameson person, you will like Proper 12 better.
Dude, if you like whiskey, you'll like it, for one, right?
Well, no. I'm just saying, all the people that say it sucks, let's put it in its subcategories, right?
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's an Irish whiskey. Name me one that's better.
Yeah. Yeah, no, honestly, I can't.
Nothing.
No, that was it, though, because so he told me it sucked, or he told me he heard it sucked. Somebody else told me they heard it sucked, and I'm like, what the fuck? And then right after I bought this bottle that I was bringing over, I called Vintage about something, and I just told him, I was like, yeah, I just got some fucking whiskey. And he goes, how is that stuff? I heard it's fucking terrible. It tastes like garbage. I'm like,
no,
what? Man. I'm like, no, this is like the fucking third bottle I'm getting. It's fantastic.
I'd rather drink that than some of the whiskey he has.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Like he really likes Weller's, and I think you like it too, but I don't.
Yes.
I don't see the big deal in it. I just don't see the big deal in it.
It's a great sipping whiskey, and it's $20. That's the big deal.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's really good and smooth. And it only costs $20, so it's like, oh shit, look at this.
I'm not saying it's bad.
No,
I'm just saying I hear people talk it up a lot, and I'm like, I don't see the big deal in it.
It's a lot of bang for your buck, and I think that's why people like it. It's not that it's anything extraordinary that you can't get somewhere else, but it is very good. I like it. In my opinion, it's really good, and it's cheap, and that's why people like it. But it's hard to find, that's why people also like it. If you give them something that's decent, a good price, and rare, like most stores don't carry it, and if they do, it's sold out like for years. That's when people want it, right? Especially people that are into things and wanna be about something,
trendy.
Right? Yes.
Yeah.
It's like, oh well, I got this bottle that's kind of hard to find. Oh, and it only costs $20. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of those things.
And with Proper, you gotta give McGregor credit for all the marketing. I mean,
absolutely.
He's not just.
He just opened a distillery in Chicago.
Well, he's not just sending people or sending bottles. He's going in person.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
He was in Boston for the St. Patrick's Day parade. He was in the whole. He was in the clubhouse for the Bruins game, handing out bottles. He was at the.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I believe AT&T Stadium. Jerry World over there in Dallas carries it because I think he has a little bit of a partnership with Jerry Jones.
Yep.
You gotta respect the hustle, and then he's giving back money to the U.S. military with every purchase of a bottle. There's a portion that goes that's insane.
People, and this is what I told Vintage because
he's not even a fucking American citizen.
Oh, this is what I told Vintage though. I was like, honestly, it's really fucking good. Otherwise, I wouldn't be buying it again.
Yeah.
And I said people want to hate it because they hate him.
100%.
He's out there promoting it and being the fucking arrogant guy that he is, so people hate him, and so they in turn hate what he has, whether they've had it or not. And he was like, yeah, you know what? He's like, I'd probably fucking like it. I'm like, dude, you drink everything just like we do. You would like it.
And I'll say this about whiskey, the little bit that I do know, when there is a new whiskey that comes out, how long has that been aged? Maybe 3 years tops, right?
It depends.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. This is his brand new endeavor, so I know it's fresh. Let's give him 5. In about 5 or 10 years.
You're saying his.
I'm just talking about his.
I remember I got the bottle right here.
His first or second run is probably only like 3 years aged, right? Imagine in about 5 years when those barrels start to get real worked up.
Oh, they get seasoned.
If you buy, and now I'm generalizing, if you buy a brand new whiskey first to market and you go, this is pretty good, you're gonna love it in a few years because it's only gonna get better.
A lot of times though, they use a lot of people use a brand new barrel for every batch.
See, I read an article about his, and his is a mixture of 3 different, and they do mix, and then they sit in dedicated barrels that he has at some facility.
Yeah.
So they were like, and this the review I read, the guy was indifferent on it. He didn't think it was great, but he didn't think it was terrible like other people are saying. But he did say the fact that I don't think it's bad leads me to think that in a few years I'll think it's really good.
Yeah, exactly. Well, plus then they've probably got barrels right now that they're aging longer and longer and longer, so then they're going to come out with a 12-year. You know what I mean? Like then they'll start coming out with different levels, just like all these other companies have different levels, right? Yeah. Jameson has 10 different versions of Jameson that you can buy. I'm trying to look at the bottle. I'm not seeing anywhere.
It is for
triple distilled and aged a minimum of 3 years in bourbon barrels.
3 years.
Yeah, a minimum.
Yeah. So they're just like they're just getting started. The first run was 3 years.
Exactly.
That's it. That's just a play on words, right?
Exactly. But
in 2 years, let's give it a second run. In 3 years, it's just going to be better. Mm-hmm. And for people that don't like it, I firmly agree with you. It's just because they don't like. And how do you not like Conor McGregor?
If you like whiskey, especially Irish whiskey, it's great. Like I am not I've said this a million times, I'm not a Jameson guy. I'll drink it from time to time. I don't hate it, but it's not my whiskey. If it's there, I'll drink it. When St. Patrick's Day comes around, I drink it. But it's not something that I go to the store and buy ever besides around that time. Right.
But how do you not have respect and like Conor McGregor? It blows my mind. And I get he just smashed some guy's phone in Miami. But guess what? That guy was taking a picture of him late at night when he's with his wife, just trying to have a nice time. Now, did he go overboard breaking the guy's phone?
Of course he did.
Of course he did. But is he the first person to come at a paparazzi? No. Is he going to be the last? No. Everyone wants to make a big deal of it because he can actually hurt the guy. Right? Because he's a cage fighter, right?
Yeah, of course.
Give me a break, guys.
But yeah, so I gave it I poured Mikey a couple fingers and he sipped on it, and he's just kind of coming into the whiskey game over the last couple of years. He's always enjoyed some. He'll drink it from time to time, but he's never been much of a connoisseur, Yeah. And he's really starting to appreciate certain whiskeys. And when I was pouring it for him, I was like, honestly, I prefer it over Jameson. And he goes, wow, really? He's like, 'cause Jameson's good. That's he's like, those are some big words. I'm like, well, it is what it is. You try it and you tell me what you think, you know? He took a sip. He goes, God damn, that's better than Jameson. Mm-hmm. Said, well, it is what it is.
I liken whiskey to IPAs. It takes a while to understand what you're actually tasting.
Absolutely.
That's it. And once you understand what you're tasting, you can appreciate it. You know,
exactly.
And it's the same thing with dry red wines, like a Cab,
absolutely.
or
You
or
just
a
named my
Cherise or a
favorite
Merlot.
things.
Yeah, with those real my favorite thing, the drier, and most people don't like really dry red wines. The drier, the better. A lot of people don't. Me too. The drier, the better.
But it's funny because I was never big on wine. I'd only ever tried like shitty sweet wine, right?
Me too.
And so I didn't really like wine, and I had tried a couple cheap reds, but nothing good, right? Nothing that I knew anything about, and I knew nothing about wine. And I was on the road. I was in Texas actually. We were filming on the King Ranch, and we were with some of these high dollar players that, you know, some of them are kind of those high dollar people that are just like, hey, whatever, fuck you, and a couple of them were just really nice people,
couple of affluent fellas.
Down to earth fucking people, right?
A couple of affluent fellas.
I was sitting next to this dude that I've been talking to the last couple days. A really cool dude. And they were passing a nice bottle of wine around, and he was like, oh, here, you want some? I was like, nah, I'm not really a wine guy. He's like, yeah, you know what? He's like, you're going to want to try this. He's like, just give it a shot. I'm going to pour you some, and you tell me what you think. I'm like, all right, I'll take you up on that. I'm not going to turn it down. So he poured me some, took a sip. I'm like, that I can drink. I was like, what is that? He's like, that's a nice dry Cabernet. And I'm like, well, I like a nice dry Cabernet.
I love a good Cab Sauv.
Yeah, and once I had that, like, I really got into like, okay, well, fuck, there are some good wines out there. Let me try some, you know. And then
I'll take
a good, shit.
I'll take a good Riesling.
Too sweet.
It's got to be dry.
Way
though.
too sweet. Riesling.
Oh, I'm thinking the wrong thing.
You're thinking the wrong thing. Riesling is ultra sweet. You like a Merlot.
Yeah, that might be what I'm thinking.
Yeah, you can get a pretty good dry Merlot.
Yeah. What's another
Cab Sauv is my favorite.
Oh, a Pinot Noir.
Pinot Noir. There you go.
That's what I'm thinking about.
There you go.
Yeah, I knew there was an R somewhere in there. Yeah.
The silent R.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not silent, but it's not a, it's not a Riesling.
Now you got to get Mikey. You got to get Mikey some of the Angel's Envy. That stuff's good.
Yeah,
I really like Angels.
I'm not sure if he's had that. I haven't had that in a while. I have to ask him if he's had it.
If you want something like if you want a whiskey that tastes like a really expensive whiskey, but really it's on the little bit of the higher.
It's definitely on the higher side. That's why I don't get it very often.
It's definitely affordable bottle. Though.
It's a $50 bottle.
Total one.
Yeah, it depends on where you go, but it's on average $45 to $50. I mean, that's a little pricey for a bottle. You know, I mean, I do it from time to time, but I don't like spending that much when you can get something like fucking proper for $26, 24. I think it was 24.
I'll take a Crown Black.
Party place over by me.
I'll take a Crown Black.
Mm-hmm.
Only because I think black just goes smoother than regular, and a lot of times only like $5 more.
Yeah. See, I mean, if I'm gonna spend $40-50, I just got a bottle of Maker's 46 the other day. That shit for $40 is one of the best you can get.
All right, Jackson, calm down with the spot ads. The ambassador over here.
Hey, now that's a higher end whiskey. It's gonna be better. I like it better than Angels. I mean, I like Angels, but for $10, even sometimes you can get it for $35. It's well worth it.
No, I'll take Angels Envy over Makers.
Have you had 46 though?
Yeah. You've given it too much times. You got me a bottle.
I've fed it to you.
You got me a bottle before I left for school.
Oh, that's right. I
drank the whole thing when I came back. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. We took shots every time you came back.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's good. It's good.
Yeah. But see, that's the thing too for me is like
about Angels and everyone's palate's different, you know.
Oh, exactly. And I love Angels, but for me, 46. We were also doing shots of it because we're assholes sometimes. And your dad wanted a shot most of the time. So, but 46 is really a sipping whiskey, you know.
Yeah.
It's a real good bourbon. You got to sit there and sip on.
Yep.
But yeah, so
this podcast is brought to you by alcohol. Alcohol. Gets you fucked up.
Get you some alcohol.
Alcohol.
But yeah, other than that, since so what I get to Saturday and Sunday, so I didn't even tell you about my week. I just worked all week. That's it. End of story. Long week. Long week editing. But that's pretty much it. Alcohol. Alcohol. What so what's up? What's good?
What's good?
What's good? What is good?
Current events without any knowledge. The Mueller report finally came out.
The what?
The Mueller report finally came out.
Oh,
about the Russian collusion over the weekend.
Uh-huh.
He finally turned Robert Mueller finally turned it in.
Okay.
And then he turned it into Attorney General William Barr. William Barr said earlier this evening, Robert Mueller found no evidence, quote, to establish that the president was involved in any underlying crime related to Russian election interference.
Yeah. Now,
Mueller's investigation, Barr says, was nothing if not thorough. Mueller used a team of 19 lawyers, 40 FBI special agents to issue more than 2,800 subpoenas, execute nearly 500 search warrants, more than 230 orders for communication records, issue requests to 13 countries, and interview more than 500 witnesses.
and how much money did we spend that on?
Millions.
Exactly.
How much time did we waste?
And everybody was all for
2
it
years.
because fuck Trump, right? He was doing something wrong. Now, was Russia meddling in the election? Yes.
Probably.
Were they? No, absolutely. Were they using our social media? Yes. To pit people against each other? Absolutely.
Yes.
Are they still doing it to this day for not just the elections, but everything? Yes.
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 No, when he was, I don't know what he was doing. I just saw a clip. He was like Trump. He was walking outside the White House. I don't know if he was taking a walk or whatever. And some reporter was like, the Mueller report just got turned in. And he goes, yeah, I know. I didn't collude with anything. And they were like, do you want him to release it? And he goes, sure, why not? I honestly don't care.
That'd be great.
And he just like kept on with his day. And when he was like really nonchalant about it, I was like, oh man, there's nothing in there.
No, he knew there wasn't anything in there.
And I'm so tired of everyone in politics, really. And my the only reason why I keep up with most of it is because medicine is so political these days. I don't really have a choice.
Yeah.
But I'll say this about the Mueller report. What you'll see now is that you'll see the Democrats start to attempt to put blame on Robert Mueller, who was elected by both the House and the Senate. They agreed upon him to run this investigation. You're going to see them start to potentially put blame on him, maybe subpoena him. I think you're going to see them play the victim card. I saw some tweets this weekend from people from on the left, and it was just stupidity. You know, a lot of the headline articles didn't even mention that Trump's not getting indicted or anything. All they said was they would say like 8 people indicted. Yeah, well, those 8 people had nothing to do with his campaign or him.
Mm-hmm.
So way to make a misleading headline. It's stupid. You're stupid. And, Yeah, Robert Mueller's team. This is one of the headlines. Robert Mueller's team indicted or got guilty pleas from 34 people and 3 companies during their lengthy investigation. So someone retweeted it and put a caption. Also, Mueller found no evidence of any crime between Trump's campaign and Russia. You hacks. You know? You want a great example, and we talk about this frequently, but you want a great example of the biasness in the media. There's been no greater example than this week with the Mueller report and also Trump's national emergency declaration on colleges, which I'll get to in a second. The Washington Post, this is a brilliant tweet by Ronna McDaniel. I don't know who she is. The Washington Post wrote 188 more stories about the Russian investigation than the defeat of ISIS. We defeated ISIS this week, too. Their last stronghold fell. It should have been national news, and it wasn't. It wasn't, because that, heaven forbid, his administration do anything right. Yeah. That should have been national news, ladies and gentlemen. ISIS has been a thorn in multiple countries' ass for so long. They finally, their last stronghold fell, and, to hell with it. Who cares, right?
Yeah, exactly.
The New York Times wrote 619 more stories about Russia than on the negotiations of NAFTA. And CNN wrote 891 more stories about Russia than stories about middle-class tax cuts. His tax plan was very well thought out. A lot of people benefited from that. He lost millions of dollars. Understand that. Donald Trump stood to lose millions of dollars with that tax cut. Now, will he find loopholes in taxes? Of course, they all do. I mean, Amazon literally for the year 2018 is on record. They will pay 0 taxes.
Zero.
Yeah. 0. They will not pay any taxes.
How's that even possible?
Tax cuts, charity donations, loopholes. They're on. I read an article, and their estimation is $0. And obviously they can't confirm it because tax season's coming up soon. But it's believed that Amazon will pay $0. Look, Russia
that's all
donated.
Hearsay, right?
Yeah, Russia donated $145 million to the Clinton Foundation. Hillary Clinton sold 20% of America's uranium to Vladimir Putin. And look, I'm not saying, look, Hillary's getting investigated by Ukraine for potentially using Ukrainian bots to bolster up her election in 2016. Look, could he have possibly colluded? I don't think so. Did Russia obviously influence the election? Yeah, they did. But did he win because Russia influenced the election? Absolutely not. He won because you can't vote for Hillary Clinton. Yeah. And we're 2.5 years in. He's the president. He's not going to get impeached. Every time you try, you fail. Can we just accept the fact that he's the president and let's just move on? And let's try to work together and let's try to get some stuff done. Because I've seen a lot of Republicans extending olive branches and they're just shut down. And then the Democrats play the victim card. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez has prototypical millennial attitude across the board. She plays the victim for everything. If you don't unequivocally agree with her, she's the victim. She's the victim. And Rachel Maddow from MSNBC talking about the Mueller report, she was in tears. She was almost brought to tears because she couldn't say Trump was getting indicted. Now, let's look at this a different way. Let's unpack this a different way. If you're one of those people that truly believed that Trump colluded with Russia to influence the election, I'm fine with you. That's fine. You can believe that. But if you're one of the many people that were hoping that there was empirical proof that he colluded with Russia, understand this, you were hoping for treason.
Yeah, absolutely.
let's look at this a different way. If you thought, he's kind of a shitty person, he probably did that. If that's what you thought, that's fine by me. But if you were actively hoping, like Rachel Maddow, hoping that the president of the United States colluded with another country, you're hoping for treason.
Why would you want that?
You're hoping for treason. Has it gone that far?
Obviously, it has.
I thought of it the other day when I saw a bunch of people talking about her crying, and I watched it, and she had to hold back tears in a matter of 2.5 minutes, like 3 times. She was hoping that he colluded.
Crazy. It's so weird how Republicans have become the conservatives today are more like liberals used to be.
They're moderate.
And liberals are just so fucked up.
And I'm not going to say
so
liberals because
I
consider myself a liberal, but the left.
Well,
the left.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean.
Left.
I'm a very liberal person, I would have to say.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm conservative in some areas, but, I think, the biggest problem is to just the fact that I say that, and you have to clarify that everybody, it's so fucked up too that
look at the
everybody
article
looks at it as being only one of two sides.
Yeah.
No, how about not everything in the world is just black and white, right? There's a lot of gray areas. Isn't that a thing, right?
A centralist,
This is no different. No different. Just so fucking crazy.
You got
how far gone the left is.
Yeah. They're gone, and I don't know if you can get it back.
There's any saving.
I don't think you can get it back.
There's any saving it.
The only
it's so fucked up.
The only thing you can do is tear it down from the inside, and I think that's what they're going to try to do. Because I'll get to my AOC segment now, I guess. They're going to
a big fuck this segment.
What do I got? Another good. What's another good sound? Here we go. This is a good sound. Oops.
That was good.
The Senate Majority Leader, Mitch McConnell, has decided to put, since, Alexandria and a handful of other constituents are all gun-ho with the new Green Deal. I'm sorry, Green New Deal. Put the new at the beginning because it's new. It's not green new, it's new green.
New green.
They said since this is a big part of, the election 2020, obviously, let's put it to vote. Let's put it to vote this week, and let's see if y'all vote yes, we'll start doing it. Why not? And if you're AOC, wouldn't you? I mean, when you wrote this, you would have to be deluded to think that they would ever bring this to vote, right? Mm-hmm. That Green New Deal, the estimation is $100 trillion and drastic government takeover of private businesses and private land. I mean, you there's no way you thought that would ever get to vote. And Mitch McConnell goes, no, let's put it to vote. Let's do it. Why not? And she was mad. The GOP's this is a tweet from her, the GOP's whole game of wasting votes in Congress to target others on the record for they have no intent to pass. Legislation, she put is a disgrace. Stop wasting the American people's time and learn to govern. Our jobs aren't for campaigning, and that's exactly what these bluff votes are for. You're right. That's exactly what they're doing. But they're exposing the people inside your party that can't fucking stand you, but can't say it.
Yeah.
Because
absolutely.
that I would estimate half of the House right now, half of the House Democrats are going, there's no way I can vote yes for that.
Yeah.
But hey, you know what, sweetheart? You made this plan, and you thought that this was a changing plan. You want to talk about want to talk about cost cutting, and you want to charge the government $93 trillion? You want to bitch about a wall? About the cost of a wall? What did she say about the wall this week? It was just everything she said about it was a lie. Gotta love how the same folks who tolerate and acquiesce to building a medieval wall along the entire U.S. southern border as a non-evidence-based solution for a crisis that doesn't exist, and now suddenly concerned that pursuing a national response to climate change is unrealistic. No. We are going to put that to a vote, and if people think that climate change, which I believe it's a real thing, but I don't believe the Green New Deal addresses anything with that. I believe that's just legislation to give the government more power, more control, and now they own your land and all your businesses. That's all that is. A medieval wall. So you say that there's no crisis at the border. Okay, let's go.
Let's look at that real quick.
Let me hit you with some facts, AOC. God, I would love for her to hear this and reach out to us. I know nothing. I didn't go to school for politics. I am self-taught. I just read articles. I'm an idiot. I'm a Neanderthal. I know about diarrhea, vomiting, piss, and shit. Who cares? Some 560,000 illegals were caught astride inside. I don't think they used the right word there. Were caught in San Diego and Tijuana in the fiscal year 1992. By 2017, the Border Patrol says they snared 26,000. Oh, they're referring to there was a gap between in the realm of Tijuana and San Diego. There was no wall there. And in 1992, they apprehended some 560,000 illegals in San Diego. Mm-hmm. By 2017, now there's some sort of wall semblance there. The Border Patrol says that there now was only like 26,086 jumps, which that would mean that's down 96%, 95.3 to be exact.
Not even a full wall.
That's bullet point number one. The barrier between Tucson, Arizona sector and Nogales, Mexico was erected in 2000. That year they had 616,346 arrests. That plunged to 38,657. That's down 93.7%. And another example was between Yuma and Los Alondres. It was down 91%. Just last week, the U.S. Customs Border Protection Commissioner Kevin McAleenan said, quote, currently facing a humanitarian national security crisis along our southwest border. Hell, let me be fair. Obama's Border Patrol Chief, Mark Morgan, told Fox Business, quote, it's absolutely a national emergency. ICE doesn't have any more room. Now Border Patrol agents are having to release illegal aliens into the U.S. because they're overwhelmed.
Crazy.
So you said that there's no crisis. I just gave pretty good examples that there are on both sides. Yeah, people are saying there is. And
Obama was for strengthening. Yeah, he was pro border.
Yep. And you want to complain about cost? You want to complain about cost? So was Hillary. Hillary wants. Hillary's behind Beto O'Rourke. Beto O'Rourke said he wants to tear the wall down. His platform is, if I get elected president, I will tear it down.
Jesus Christ.
A lot of people, and they take it for what you want. This is my opinion, obviously. A lot of people believe that the Republican Party is bred on racism and the Democratic Party is not. Understand this. It was a Republican president who ended slavery, Abraham Lincoln.
Yep.
It's also a Republican Party. And me being a liberal and in a union family, we didn't vote Republican because Republicans are always right to work.
Yeah.
They're against unions. I grew up in a union family.
Yeah.
Okay?
Absolutely.
I'm very much pro unions. But as I've gotten older, I think there needs to be a nice mixture. Right? Because I think there are some fantastic advantages of having unions. right?
Yeah, of course there is.
Understand this. The Republican Party has always been right to work. The Democratic Party has always been unions.
Mm-hmm.
The Democratic Party is always for expanding welfare and Medicaid. Why? Because they want you to be dependent on that system, because they want you to be dependent on them.
Yeah, they need you on the system, because then if they're on the system, you always need them.
So why tear down the wall? Because the more illegals that come in and have children in our country, the children become citizens, the children vote Democrat. Yep. That's it.
Absolutely.
Why do you think that they want to lower the voting age to 16? Mm-hmm. Because every fucking college you go to today is liberal.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Why do you think the president and this shocks me, not one story on any of the networks, CNN, ABC, NBC, the only one that reported on it was Fox News. Thank you, Fox News, for doing somewhat of your job.
Yeah.
Trump had to declare a national emergency on free speech in colleges because for weeks, conservatives that, because everybody puts their little tents up and they just talk to students about why they believe in conservatism or the Republican Party or the Democratic Party. When there's a conservative tent on campus, these kids are getting the shit beat out of them. Mm-hmm. They're getting physically assaulted.
Yeah. And the left never... The left has always been... sorry. Against violence and war, and now all of a sudden they're the ones ensuing violence.
Yep. Look at the Jussie Smollett thing. I mean, it's a stretch, but I mean that's just another example of this victimhood, right? This is a victimhood.
Yeah, yeah. So
look, racism's never going to go away. But if you really think that the Republican Party is racist, look at the unemployment numbers.
As a whole, yeah.
Look, Obama's platform was change. Mm-hmm. How is that any different than making America great again?
It's not. It's just a different way of saying it. They're the same thing. Yeah.
And those four words are synonymous with white supremacy and hatred and racism. No, they're no different.
Because that's just what the left is painting it as. I honestly, I have never cared. I've never wanted to wear Make America Great Again
God, I want to wear one.
But now I want to wear one. I just want to wear one.
And I didn't even vote because I couldn't fathom voting for him, but I knew for sure I couldn't vote for Hillary.
I didn't vote either because I couldn't vote for either of them. I didn't see a point in voting for either of them.
That kills me not being able to vote. But hey, look, our unemployment numbers are at record lows, and that's a platform Obama ran on, and all it did was get worse.
Yeah.
And I voted for that man twice.
Yeah.
So we gotta quit this stuff, man.
Gotta work together. But goes back to Russia pitting us against each other.
Yeah.
So they can see the demise.
They spent billions on that infrastructure just to fuck with us, and it was one of the greatest things they've ever done.
Yeah, absolutely.
And speaking of AOC, her approval ratings, they leaked out this week. They're atrocious.
Good.
She got on Twitter right after her approval ratings leaked out, and she was suggesting on Twitter that centralists who do not agree with her, or when Democrats side with the Republicans on certain votes, they're legitimizing bigotry. Mm-hmm. What bigotry? What bigotry?
Oh God.
What bigotry, sweetheart? You have a Democratic House of Representatives person by the name of Ilhan Omar, this will be the one and only time I ever address her. Since she's been in office, and I really had hope for her because she's a Somalian and she's African and she wears a hijab. I thought she'd be a symbol of progressiveness in politicians. You know, could you imagine electing someone 10 years ago that wore a hijab? There's just no way. all she's done since she's been in there is basically just spewed anti-Semitism. I mean, she hates the Jews. And we have a firm peace agreement, an agreement with Israel. Like, that's one of the worst things you could do. You know, she's used racial epithets against Jews on multiple occasions, and she's still sitting on the House Foreign Committee. That's racism. She's still voting for foreign affairs that revolve around a country who she doesn't even care for, and is open about her hatred. So what bigotry are we forcing? Is it just the fact that y'all just want to cover up all the bigotry that you have? I don't know. Because when I don't know what Republican it was, but he said some stupid comment that was racist. Steve King, he said some racist shit, and the next day he was removed from all of his committees and deplatformed by his own party, and they made him apologize. Ilhan Omar throws out racial epithets, and then Nancy Pelosi comes on a week later and goes, she didn't understand those words. Fuck off. Fuck off.
The fuck out of here.
Everybody knows racial epithets. I can riddle off 15 of them right now. Fuck off.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, and sweetheart, I get that you're Hispanic and you got a hyphenated last name, but if someone just addresses you as Miss Cortez, don't get fucking mad.
Right.
Okay? She got all mad because somebody addressed her as Cortez, and then somebody pulled all the clips back, and they actually didn't. She was just lying. But listen here, I dated someone, and I'm also Hispanic, and I dated someone that had a hyphenated last name. At no point do we get upset when someone messes up our last name. That's just you playing fucking victim. Nobody gets mad about that. Okay? It's not a common thing, as you said. No, it's common for specifically 100% Puerto Ricans. I'm Cuban. I happen to know a lot of people with hyphenated double last names. Oh, I'm Hispanic. I'm a powerful woman, and I take both my parents' last name. Go fuck yourself. You have 2 last names. Congratulations. But if I address you as Miss Cortez, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Don't get fucking mad. Because next time, I'm going to call you Miss Spick, and then I'm going to give you a fucking reason to get mad.
Love it.
And thank you to one of the few times I'll thank Trump. Thank you for making it a national emergency to ensure that freedom of speech is still paramount at universities across the board, because it was something that was, I mean, it was getting scary being on campuses for a lot of people that had different views.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So.
Absolutely.
What you got?
God, give me a second here. You're on a raid here.
Yeah, but when I get kind of mundane and a little depressed, man, I start
getting on a
raid. My mind races. I can sit here all day and yell at AOC. She's a disgrace. She's a disgrace. Absolutely. She should have used her platform as a woman, as an intelligent woman who ran on a social media platform, who had no real big backing. She doesn't even have a master's. She just has a bachelor's degree. I mean, she went to Boston University, great college. Congratulations. She's not an ugly woman. She's decently attractive. Like, she should have used this platform to better herself, and she's just using it to spew hatred, and that irritates me.
Yeah,
that irritates me.
Absolutely. As it should. All right. Well, let's switch gears. We might have DNA evidence of who Jack the Ripper is.
Get out of here.
How about that? How about that? Okay, so they're running new tests. They were able to find what I'm sure you're going to know, what is called mitochondrial DNA that was left behind on, let me see, what did they say it was? It was a silk shawl that one of the victims was wearing. It's one of the only pieces of evidence left from one of the crime scenes. And with some new testing, they were able to pull mitochondrial DNA. And it's not 100% exact that they can say, okay, this is who did it.
Yeah.
But they're able to link the DNA to basically like, what the fuck was it down? It's so mitochondrial DNA is passed down from a mother to the child. So it's it's in the genes basically of that family.
Yeah.
Okay?
So you only get your mitochondria from your mother. So there's certain diseases and congenital disorders that are mitochondria exclusive.
Yeah.
So they are only passed down from mom. So the thing with mitochondrial DNA is it's circular, whereas genetic or genomic DNA is a double helix. Mitochondrial DNA is an ancestor. They believe it's an ancestor or an evolution from bacterial DNA, because bacterial DNA tends to be circular like that.
Yeah, yeah. And basically they said, there was a good line that basically said that, excuse me. They said the results match. God damn it. There was a line here somewhere that basically said that it's not the DNA found at the scene were compared to maternal descendants of the victim and of this person that was actually one of the police main suspect. And they can't say 100% that it was him as of yet, because there's a lot of other variables that go into it, but it seems like a strong source that it's probably him. So Aaron Kosminski apparently was one of the main police suspects.
Sounds like a murder to me.
Polish Jewish immigrant who lived about 200 yards from where one of the victims was murdered.
Sounds like a murder to me.
I mean, this happened over 100 years ago, guys. Gone, right?
Yeah.
But pretty interesting that it's pretty interesting that they're still able to pull stuff like that and try to. Some of it makes me wonder if it's a bunch of money and time wasted going in the wrong direction. But it's also interesting that they can pull stuff from old, like if it's somebody that's still sitting in jail and they want to see if he's innocent, I get it. But, fuck it. It's the UK. They're going to spend their money on whatever they want to, right?
Well, a lot of times this is educational institutions with donated money,
exactly.
So a lot of times it doesn't cost anything.
No, and to me, it's definitely an educational side that is pretty awesome, But yeah, so they basically said that they think it's pointing towards him. It's not 100%. There was one eyewitness that said he had brown hair and brown eyes. And in London at that time, it was mostly blue eyes were common. So, that also dictates that, okay, he matches the description. The DNA matches that. So that's also likely, they're basically saying like how many people in fucking the late 1800s had, brown eyes and brown hair in London. I mean, there were some, but blue eyes were very common. Very common.
Yeah, blonde hair, blue eyes.
Yeah. So,
that royal family
cool.
likes that pure bloodline.
Cool stuff. But yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting.
Jack the Ripper.
Didn't we just bring him up a week or two ago?
Probably.
We just mention him.
Yeah,
maybe,
we talk. I mean, we basically cover, like we said, current events without any knowledge, but we mostly talk about things that are way above our pay grade, like politics, sexual assault, women's rights, and murders. So I mean, we cover the gamut.
The gamut.
I saw one of the funniest things this week.
We should just stick to the lacquer.
Yeah, I saw one of the funny, I see a lot of funny things on Instagram, but they don't really make me laugh out loud. Like Dalia makes me laugh out loud, and the little clips from Theo. But that guy that does the Trump impersonations, Kyle Dunnigan, I think that's his last name.
Not sure. Not sure I know.
Oh, his Trump impersonations are next level. He does Trump and he does the Kardashians. They're fucking great. And he uses the face swap app, so he has their face on.
Oh yeah, that's funny.
He did a little thing, and it's like and it just goes to him, and it just says pussies on the screen, and then he's got like his podcast set up, and he goes, "We're back with Pussies, the podcast for women, about women, by men who support women." And then
that's great.
And then he had like a caller, and it was this guy, and he's like, I think you guys are just being real pussies today. And then he goes, "Thank you. That's what we're trying. I know we'll never experience the full gamut, but we're going for it." And then he was like, "Next caller," and it was like a female, and she's like, "You guys are really doing really well. You're something like you're really exemplifying pussies." And he was like, "Well, that's what we're trying to do." I must have watched it fucking 10 times.
That's great.
Let me see if I can find it. I'll play it. I can play the audio.
While you're looking for that, Google.
What'd Google do now?
Google. They're coming out with a video game streaming platform.
Oh, I'm not surprised.
So basically, go get yourself a Wi-Fi controller and play on your phone, your laptop, your smart TV, anything with a Chrome browser, basically. And
what kind of games are we talking?
Video games. I don't know. It's not. They just announced it.
Like stream to play it, not stream to watch, right?
Yes.
Someone else play?
Yeah, to play. Yeah,
Okay.
No. Stream to play it.
Yeah.
So instead of going and buying, what the fuck would they call it? They got the Pixel for the phone. I don't know. They basically a Google version, a Nintendo or a PlayStation, right? So whatever the fuck they would come up to call that. Instead of them coming out with that, they said, "Fuck that." Yeah, the Pixel box. We're just gonna go cloud based with video games. Everybody's doing it already for movies, right?
Well, I mean,
TVs.
It
makes sense.
When I was in high school, I used to buy all like the sports games, and like I look back now, I'm like, I was paying $60 a pop.
Yeah. You come out with a little $10 a month. You get.
Why didn't we have some type of subscription thing?
Million people to come pay for it, which they will. It's Google. They're going to dump millions into promoting it.
And they have. I think Amazon is the leader in the cloud-based system with their because they do MLB, they do a ton, but Google's not it's like 1A, 1B. I don't think people realize how much money Amazon makes off that cloud-based servers and storage that all the businesses uses.
Not sure I like the name though.
What's the name?
Stadia.
What's that?
Stadia. Stadia.
Stadia. Well, they changed their parent company name to Alphabet. They're not making real good decisions these days on names.
Wow, terrible.
And they were like, "Well, it's the Alphabet because we do everything." Like, oh, it's real funny. You're Google. Shut up.
Yeah, you're fucking Google. How about
Google.
that? But yeah, it seems pretty interesting. And they're basically saying you can watch a game trailer on YouTube. Obviously, own YouTube. And then when the video is over, you'll get an option that asks if you want to play it on Stadia. You can then select it and be playing on the same YouTube window, not even have to open and load a whole new thing. It'll just load right there. And they say you can be playing within 5 seconds. Obviously, that's all dependent upon your internet, but
with all this,
because I've never seen a YouTube video load in 5 seconds, but that's okay.
The ads do. The ads do.
The ads load in a half a second, and then you sit there and wait and wait.
That the need of bandwidth that we're going to need in the future just terrifies me. We're all going to be walking around with autism at some point.
Oh yeah, just all the fucking technology.
It's just gonna be like the scene from what was the movie? Forgetting Sarah Marshall, where Russell Brand describes Kristen Bell's movie. He's like, "Yeah, it's like a cell phone." It goes, "Bring, bring," and "Hello," and then you just die. Speaking of subscriptions, I read an article that Netflix is toying. They're testing out a mobile only subscription for $3.60. I think it's like $3.62 a month.
Interesting.
Yeah, because and I heard this on Rogan the other day. He said that Netflix told him that his special was watched. Over 50% of the people that watched his special watched it on their phone.
Well, but the thing is, there's so many ways to send it from your phone to your TV, Apple TV, Chromecast, stuff like that. Even just smart TVs now will take it. You know, I'll play something on my phone and my TV will pop up and say, "Oh, do you want to throw this to your TV?" So I would think that still registers as being played on the phone. You're just viewing it on a larger screen because you're just sending it over. But the actual streaming, like I got a Chromecast in my bedroom that I use instead of having like a whole nother setup in there. I get a little Chromecast that I've had for years that you just plug into the HDMI port and you can just open the Netflix app, send whatever you want over to the TV. But I use the Netflix app on my phone. So,
yeah.
I mean, I would have to imagine that counts for that.
Let's see if the Instagram video play of the Pussies podcast.
All right, next caller, you're on Pussies.
No, it's playing at the end of it. But yeah, I thought that was interesting. If you wanted to save like $11, I mean, what is it, like almost $12 now for a monthly subscription?
Yeah, I think it's up to like $12 or $13 a month. Yeah.
Message from our pod sponsor, Jackrabbit Vibrators. Get in the bush with Jackrabbit. We'll be right back with more Pussies. All right, welcome back to Pussies, the podcast about women, for women, by men who support women. We want to take back that word.
That's right. The female anatomy is powerful and strong. It shouldn't be considered weak or wimpy.
Exactly. All right, we got a caller. Caller, you're on the air.
I'm sorry, but you guys are being such pussies right now. I can't take it.
Great.
Thank you.
That's a compliment.
I'll take that.
Thank you. By the way, we know we don't know the full brave female experience.
We're maybe part of the way there.
Yeah, we're part way there. We hope to one day get all the way there and be, total pussies. All right, next caller, you're on Pussies.
Hi, I'm a woman, and I just want to thank you guys so much for doing this.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for saying that.
I mean, I would never fuck you guys. I'm not even sure why, because you're saying everything I want to hear. I just couldn't be drier down there.
What? That's great.
Yeah. I was legit dying because it's
stuff.
It's like the perfect like little skit on what women want versus what they actually want. Right? They want us to be sensitive and kind, but
then you go there and
you don't get fucked
doesn't
that
work
way.
out.
It's the reality of it.
Yep.
So I'll read this. I got a little thing here about a school in Arlington, Virginia in February. A lot of dumb shit happens in Virginia, I'm noticing.
Absolutely.
I know Florida gets a real bad rap because we're the only state that has dinosaurs and like pirate ships. But
yeah,
I mean, Virginia, man, it's either racism
they got
or
some
like
fucked up shit.
Yeah. So if you had a child and I don't want you to answer this, but if you had a child, would you be okay? And this is a young child, I think like 8 or 9. Would you be okay if a transgender man came and spoke to the class about, his gender transition and the struggles and all that?
At 8?
Yeah. Now, don't answer it if you don't want to. I'll go over the article quick. In February, an elementary school in Arlington, Virginia, had kindergartners, 5 years old, sit on the floor to hear a transgender spokesperson for the Human Rights Campaign read them a book in which the claim is made that a boy can, quote, have a girl brain but a boy body, or a boy brain and a girl body. The school district later claimed that, quote, parents were notified by a letter ahead of time and were allowed to opt out if they chose. But those claims look to be false, as one of the children's parents, Casey Chalk, said, quote, a copy of the February 22nd letter was provided to the Family Foundation of Virginia under the Virginia Freedom of Information Act. It shows absolutely no offer for parents to pull their kids out of the activity. Moreover, although the letter notes that a book written by a transgender person would be read to the class, it does not explicitly state that kindergartens will be told they may have a girl brain but a boy body, boy brain, and a girl body, as the book claims. Nor does it say that the children would be read to by a cross-dressing man who calls himself Sarah. Rather, it only says that there will be a discussion around the big ideas of the book, which are what to accept and welcome, or that are to accept and welcome all people. So the book that they read to the children was I Am Jazz. And the notice that was sent home to parents did not explicitly state that there would be a transgender person coming to the classroom and talking to them and reading them the book. There's a quote from what at one point, I guess somebody got a quote from the transgender person. I don't know if they recorded it or whatever. I'm really not sure, but it says, the person said, "I'm like Jazz. When I was born, the doctors and my parents, they all thought that I was a boy. When a young girl asked why, McBride or Sarah answered, because society, people around them told them that was the case. It took me getting a little bit older to be able to say that in my heart, in my mind, I knew I was really a girl." With all that said, I'll just bring a study that was done by Brown University in 2018. They examined the phenomenon in which groups of teenage girls suddenly express feelings of gender dysmorphia. Littman suggested that the girls were affected by social media content that championed gender transition. I'm not sure I would want a 5-year-old exposed to that in a school setting. And I think I'd be highly upset if I wasn't explicitly detailed exactly what was happening in the classroom.
Well, yeah, if they're not telling you what actually is happening, that's fucked up and wrong, and I'd be pissed off too, whether or not I was on the pro side or against it, right?
Yeah.
But you did not disclose what you were actually doing with my kids.
Yeah, just based on the facts.
That's fucked up.
I'm not okay with it not being exactly detailed, and I'm not sure I want a transgender person coming and talking to my children about their experience. Without the opportunity of hearing the other side. You know, it's a real one-sided conversation to a 5-year-old that's very impressionable.
Yeah.
You know, then you get a 5-year-old thinking that he might or she might be the opposite gender when really and truly they probably aren't. You know, a handful of them might be, you know. I do believe that your mental gender can be different from your bodily gender. It's happened way too many times for you not to believe that that's a case. I do think gender dysmorphia is a real thing, much to most people's dismay. I don't think this is something to be taught to 5-year-olds, though. I'm not even sure it should be taught in an elementary school.
Yeah.
You know?
Probably not.
I saw that in my hair. Like, I just was like, that's a tough one. And there's in the article they said that these demonstrations are becoming more popular in elementary schools across the country. It's a real problem. It's a real problem in the UK. And the UK has a high demographic of Muslims, and the Muslims are battling the UK government right now. They have no room for that in their education. They're pulling kids out of schools. You know, I think I heard a quote. I think I read a quote from Alex Jones. He was like, "I never thought I'd ever side with Muslims, but thank you. They're the only ones helping us out with the UK." I was like,
"Jeez."
Yeah, you know, kids are too young for that. I know. We have to accept everyone, and that shouldn't even be like a question. But at the same time, I don't know. I think parents should take a more vested interest in their children's life and educating them. You know, I think that died after like our age group. I think really like Generation Z, like I don't think parents are really teaching their kids like real life lessons. I know probably a lot are, but I think there's a vast majority that are just coddling and protecting and shielding them from the real world. And
100%.
They come out and they're like, I've never seen an Asian person or a black person, you know?
Yeah, they don't know They don't know that the world's a real fucked up place. Yeah. And it's going to be a shock to a lot of kids that are growing up right now.
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. My gut says I wouldn't be okay with it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't even know how that becomes a thing. I don't even know how it becomes a thing. Did you see my post this week about one championship changing their weight cutting thing?
Yeah, I saw something about it. It seemed a little vague though.
Yeah, it's awesome. You can no longer cut weight via dehydration, and you have to be.
That's good.
You have to be at your walking weight the week of the fight. So, like, if you're walking around, like a lot of good. You called me last night, and I had the fights playing in the background. There was a guy on there who was 6'3". His walking weight is like 185, and he was weight cutting to 145.
Jesus
Christ. He was visibly larger than his opponent. And he missed weight by like 2 pounds. But regardless, he cut like 40 pounds for this fight. That's not healthy. That's not good.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Yeah, it's up to the UFC now. I know Dana thrives on these weight classes, but he's hard. He's putting the fighters in danger.
He's got to do something about it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they're going to do like a year. They're going to do an erythrocyte sedimentation rate. What are they doing? They're going to test the osmolality of the urine to see to check the difference between the actual fluid volume in there versus the protein count. So if your protein count is high and your fluid is low, that means you're dehydrating. And then if they catch you doing that, you're out. So not only are they taking it away, but they're actually implementing ways of finding out whether the fighters are doing that or not. So, good job.
Mm-hmm.
What else you got?
I don't know. Let me see. Where are we at?
120.
Almost at an hour and a half. We should wrap this bitch up.
Yeah, let's do a couple questions.
Yeah. I was just looking at a few actually.
If you had to eat one part of a body, what would you eat?
One part of a body.
Mm-hmm.
Going that ass, son.
Jesus Christ.
That's all the meat, babe. That's where all the meat is. Man, that's gonna be good. I'm gonna slice that ass off, throw it on the grill, a little salt and pepper.
Christ.
Medium rare. Fuck yeah. What, you want it? What are you eating? Cock? What are you eating?
Chow. All of it. No, when you read things from cannibals, they say the brain is delicious. If I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna go full can.
I mean, I'd like to try it, but if I'm just on a random fucking day, I'm gonna eat that ass.
Let's get that hit of that brain, son.
Hit of that brain?
Yep.
Hit of that brain.
Would you rather give up sex for 1 year or porn for 1 year?
Porn.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
Would I rather watch it or do it? Gee, I don't know. I mean, it's a pretty easy question.
Well, I mean, as long as it's raw dog sex, because if it's condom sex, then I gotta make a decision.
Then you got it depends on the deets, huh?
Yeah, we're going raw dizzy. That's a different story. But I mean, baseline, just a general answer. I'll give up porn. Yeah. You get $10,000 every day for every day that you don't beat off. How long do you last?
A week.
That's it.
I don't know. I say that, but then you're like, man, should I beat off or should I get 10 grand?
As long as I stay busy.
Yeah, that's the problem. As long as I'm busy. Yeah.
I could probably hit like 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah. I was just thinking about that. I could probably hit a month or two easy if I was busy.
Realistically, like around the 14th and 15th day, I'm probably going to be, you know.
But now, so you lose it as soon as you stroke it once?
Well, I mean, as long as you don't beat off that day, you get $10,000, and it goes for as long as you don't beat off.
Okay, so once you beat off, it's done.
It's
like
done.
That never
you just
happens
keep the
again.
money. Like if you go 13 days
right.
and you beat off on the 14th, you get $130,000.
All right. Well, then I could go longer than that.
I think in theory I could go a month, but I think in reality
I'm going a year.
There ain't no way.
Give me that hitter.
You're out of your mind.
I want that hitter.
All right. If you say so.
Dude, 10 grand a day, go drop a couple $100 at a rub and tug. It's not you beating off.
Yeah, they were getting loopholes. I don't know.
Hey, it's not you beating off. What, so you can't have sex either? What if you just have sex every day?
I know.
That's beating off.
I know.
I'm taking the money. I'm going a year.
Yeah, I don't know. I can go that long.
Going a year. Easy.
Let's go one more. If you had to choose one person to be the ambassador to the aliens, who are you choosing?
I heard this one before. Somebody just brought this up somewhere. Let me think. Ambassador to the aliens. It's a good one. Because you can't send a dumbass, right? Because then the thing is, you got to show, this is to show them, the problem with this is though, so this, you would say this is to show them who you are, right? But they already know who you are because they watch. So you're really just sending somebody to negotiate. So you want a good negotiator.
True. But you also don't want them to be too smart because then they're condescending sometimes.
Of course.
So this is,
of course.
Because at first thought, my thought was, Elon Musk. But then I go, too smart. Probably
maybe
not going to get anything
well,
done.
I don't know though, because he might connect with them. You call him a fucking alien all the time.
I think he is an alien.
Send them one of their own to talk for us.
I think. Well, what if he's
That's a great idea.
What if he's a clockwork elf and they're not? And then now we have an intergalactic war. Look, there's a lot of variables. Yeah, he could be a clockwork elf. Mean? The clockwork elf aliens.
Elf. Yeah,
Elves.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
The aliens you see during DMT highs, they described him as clockwork elves.
Oh, clockwork.
Yeah, I think he's a clockwork elf. And if we're talking intergalactical aliens, now we're in different dimensions. Now we have intergalactical multi-dimensional war. Whole world's over. And part of me wants to go like Arnold Schwarzenegger because then they won't even understand him. You know? But then I'm like, no.
Yeah, but what are the chances they're going to understand anyone anyway? I say we send Putin.
No.
Send Putin.
I'm going to go.
He'll wrestle him.
I know who I'm going to choose. I got this. I'm going to go with a person that respects space more than anyone in the world. Last year, it would have been Stephen Hawking. But he's no more. He's not here anymore. Now, my choice is Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Absolutely. 100%.
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
100%. He'd be the best guy to go.
I think he'd be fair.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. He'd be intrigued. He'd be fair. He'd want to understand. And he'd try to get a bunch of fucking information and he'd share it all.
Yep. What was that, 4?
Shot Marvin. I got one.
Go.
Would you rather swim 300 meters through shit or dead bodies?
Ooh. Dead bodies.
Yeah.
Dead bodies, because it's less bacteria, less chance of infections, and then if I get like a ham hock in my mouth, like it's just meat. Whereas if I get a hard deuce in the mouth, I could never go back from that.
Yeah.
Terrible. So you agree?
Yeah, absolutely.
Speaking of shit, let's I'll go with this one. Would you rather shit yourself during every orgasm or get a boner each time you talk to a man?
Ooh, shit yourself during an orgasm. Boner talking to a man. God, that's an interesting one.
It's easy for me. It's easy for me. I'm quarter to third hard pretty much most of the day.
24/7. Yeah.
Screw it.
Yeah.
I'll just get boners to dudes.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't
boners
fathom.
Are easy to hide for the most part, you know.
You gotta start. You gotta start fucking with a diaper on, you know, because you can't have that just splatting everywhere.
No fun. Yeah,
that's disgusting.
Then it's just all over the place. Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
And then it smells. And you're gonna need constantly new sheets. Whereas you wear a pair of like some decent denim jeans, like
you're good.
If it pushes off to the side, it just looks like you got a good little dick root going. They ain't gonna know the difference.
No. Yeah. Going boner.
Yeah, boner all day.
Boner all day. Boner all day.
Would you rather how do I say this? Would you rather sit on a cake and eat a dick or eat a cake while sitting on a dick?
Sit on a cake and eat a dick.
Eat a dick.
Or sit on a dick and eat a cake. So do you want the dick in your ass or your mouth, basically?
Exactly.
But at least if you're getting a dick in the ass, you get to eat cake.
Exactly.
What's the pleasure in sitting on a cake?
Exactly.
Either way, you're going to have a dick inside of you, but you can also have cake inside of you, right?
I'd rather have it in my ass than in my mouth.
Yeah, I guess so. How about just neither? How about no cake, no dick?
I mean,
I would rather never eat cake again.
No.
If it meant I didn't need to take a dick in either place.
No. I'll just sit on it real quick and eat the cake and just focus on the cake.
I'll take a brownie, son.
I mean, honestly though, it depends on like the cake. Because if we're just throwing together some shitty like, what's that cake that everyone likes that's disgusting? A fruit cake. Yeah, go to hell with that.
Oh,
that's gross.
Fuck off.
And angel food, it has no taste. Okay, I get it. It's airy, it's fluffy. It makes you feel like you're not eating a real cake because you're watching your figure. Yeah, fuck off. It doesn't taste like anything. Okay, that's why you have to put all that other crap on it. Now, we're talking a funfetti. I'm taking a dick in the ass. It's simple.
For a funfetti.
Yeah. What is this
world? Or like a 7-layer chocolate.
What is this world coming to?
Yeah. Absolutely. All right. Well, let's wrap this bitch up.
Yeah, it's called
going long again this week.
I think we're at like 1:30 because it took us like 5 or 6 minutes.
Nah,
to like actually get going.
Was it?
Yeah, it was.
I'm about to tip over 1:40.
I'm at 1:30:25. 1:39:25.
Yeah. See, I'm at just about. Yeah, I'm about to hit 1:40 right now.
All right, guys.
But
it's a sad day.
Wrap this bitch up.
Sad day.
Why is it a sad day?
I already miss Gronk.
Huh?
I already miss Gronkowski.
Already miss him.
Yep. I didn't need that. I was already kind of sad today, and just making it worse. And now I'm gonna go watch a sad video. Make it worse.
Mm-hmm. Well, anyway. That's it for now, I guess, right?
I mean, maybe.
All right. Well, bye.